Hey everybody, Steve Shermer, the Golf Gambling Podcast here for your one and done picks for the 2023 AT&T Byron Nelson. And I was throwing a little bit of a curveball yesterday when I was going to be all ready to pick Jordan Spieth, coming off a bad performance at the Wells Fargo, coming home to Texas, coming to a birdie fest, place he's done well before. That was going to be my one and done pick. Unfortunately, he withdrew. So that threw me a little bit of a curveball. I had to go scramble a little bit, but I think I got a good one that I'm going to have this week. But some honorable mention guys that either I've already picked them and they're not available to me, or maybe I'm just going to wait a little bit, but I kind of like them. So why don't we start with Tom Kim? I think he's going to be a popular pick this week. I know I bet him outright, but I think he's going to be pretty popular in one of them. But I think he's a very solid pick. I think he's good chalk this week. Think about a lot of narratives involved with TBC Craig Ranch. Lots of birdies. Got to be able to go low. And this is a guy who has demonstrated at some easier golf courses where the winning score has been in the 20s under par. He's been able to do very well. I mean, his first win on the PGA Tour came at the Wyndham. I think he was 23 under par in that tournament. Follow that up with a win at Shriners. That's another tournament where he got to, about 24 under par. I think that was the winning score. A seventh at Rocket Mortgage last summer. Finau ran away with that. Was one of the easier scoring tournaments of the year. A fifth at Century Tournament Champions at Kapalua. That's, of course, a lot of birdies too. And then a sixth at Amex this year too, where everybody was 20 under par. He finished T6. That's where I used Tom Kim this year. He was my one done pick at Amex. Not available to me, but coming to this golf course where I've seen him go very low in other tournaments with a similar setup, I think he's a fine one and done pick. So if you want to take him there, that's fine. Another guy I consider too, going to the top of the board, Terrell Hatton too. He checks a lot of boxes as far as things you're looking for. An informed ball striker. The putting's really heating up, coming off a good finish at the Wells Fargo. You look at some other places where he's done well too. He's got a couple really good solid finishes at TBC Scottsdale. That's a Tom Weiskopf. TBC Craig Ranch essentially is kind of a bad version of TBC Scottsdale, but you saw Cage Lee have a second place finish at Phoenix. Follow that up with a win in TBC Craig Ranch. Here you got Terrell Hatton with the T6 in Phoenix. Maybe you can do some similar things. So obviously this is a guy who can make a lot of birdies. For me personally, I think there's some opportunities. I'm going to wait on him down the board. I could take him at the Open. I could take him the Scottish Open too. Maybe even the WGC FedEx St. Jude. I can see him being a good fit as well. So I'm not going to take him. But if you want a guy that probably has, top 5 upside, I don't know if he's going to win this tournament, but he still could cash a 6-figure payday for you with a good finish. I'm going to save him. If you want to use him, though, go ahead and use him. Another guy who probably might go under the radar because he's been really bad so far, the last couple months or so. How about Taylor Montgomery? This is a guy that was absolutely dominating some of the easier tracks. And I mentioned this on our show last night. At a lot of these golf courses that he played at early in the year with a lot of birdies, not a whole lot of adversity tee to green. He's got some great finishes. A third at Fortin, 9th at Sanderson, a 10th at Mayakoba, 15th at RSM, 12th at Sony, 5th at Amex, the one I just mentioned where everybody was very, low under par. And then all of a sudden he started going to harder golf courses where ball striking kind of mattered, and he was exposed a little bit. But now he's going back to TBC Craig Ranch, a place where that is essentially kind of a Corn Ferry Tour setup with, big greens, flat greens, lots of birdies. Maybe that's the type of setup he's actually used to. So I think Taylor Montgomery is probably not going to be a very popular one and done pick because of how bad he's been. I think this is a good golf course fit for him. And I think he's going to actually bounce back in a big way and be a factor on Sunday. So if you want to go use him there, go do that. But the guy I'm probably going to use this week, it's Seamus Power. That's a guy I really like a lot this week. We saw he was in kind of bad form ever since the Genesis until last week. He found something with the irons. He found something tee to green, found something with the putter too. I noticed that with Cage Lee last year, he was kind of scuffling a little bit, and then he went to Quail Hollow, found a little bit with the ball striking, found something with a putter, came back to Craig Ranch, a place where he's been, obviously he won there, and he won. We see a little bit of a Seamus Power. He's got a 9th place finish at Craig Ranch, a 17th last year, found some form at Quail Hollow. Maybe he can carry that to a really nice finish, a top 3 or a win. Plus, a lot of really strong finishes on really easier golf courses. Obviously, he's won the Barbasol, he's won the Bermuda. Those were not golf courses that, unless there was wind, put a lot of adversity to any of the players. I see, last fall, a fifth at Sea Island, a third at Mayakoba, going back to last year, third at Sony, another fourth at Sea Island, and top tens at John Deere's, top tens at Rocket Mortgages. So a lot of good finishes, strong finishes for Seamus Power on easier golf courses. I think I'm going to go with that this week. And I can't really see with everybody who I have left. I'm probably not going to use Seamus Power. I mean, I might use him later down the road, but there's a lot of guys like him. So I just feel really good about Seamus Power this week. He is going to be my one and done pick for the 2023 AT&T Byron Nelson. Thank you for watching. Make sure you go subscribe, rate, and review to the Golf Gambling Podcast on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We put out free content every single week. So with that, good luck with your one and done picks for the Byron Nelson.